Hey there, it's Rick Khan, and in this video, I'm going to go through a Facebook ads budget strategy, specifically helping you to understand what kind of budget that you should use for Facebook advertising and how to utilize that in the best way. But first, the truth is, this is something that's going to be very dependent on individual needs, and it's very different for every business. And it is difficult for me just to say any specific number that's going to be good for you, because for some, a budget could be from $150 a month, and for others, it could be $500,000 a month. That's how much of a difference it is for the individual person. But with that said, there are ways you can figure out your budget so that you can have a good idea of what you should be using when running your ads. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. So before getting into the best strategy for your budget, here's something that you might or might not be familiar with. You see, if you're going to be overly detailed and over the top and sticking to every little detail of Facebook's best practices, you'll know they recommend you get at least 50 conversions per week. So they say they can stabilize the performance of your ads for the best results and to get out of the learning phase. So let's say your CPA or your break-even point is $50, which basically means for every sale at $50, you break even on your ad spend. And to stay out of the learning phase, you would need 50 conversions per week. So for this example, that would be 50 $50 conversions, which makes it at $2,500 per week, or $10,000 a month that you would need to spend and make in sales. Or let's say you sell a service at a break-even point of $500. That would be $25,000 a week or $100,000 per month. Now, if you think this is how the budget works, then I want you to know this is completely wrong. Because one, not every business has this kind of money to advertise, and it's far too much for a lot of businesses to pay. And two, I'm constantly in the learning phase, and it's hardly been any detriment to my ad success. So basically, if you're familiar to my videos, you'll know I don't really care much about the learning phase, especially when you're always having to change your ad creative and doing tweaks. You're pretty much nearly always in the learning phase. So then the question then remains, how should you budget your Facebook ads? So in order to know the best strategy to use for your budget will depend on a few things, such as, do you have a proven funnel? Are you in the testing phase where you don't know if your ad, creative, sales page, or all of that is going to work? And if you are in the testing phase, how good are you as a direct response marketer to get your ads, your copy, and creative up to scratch so you can start hitting that break-even point? All of these things will be a starting point to understand your overall Facebook budget strategy. Because if any of that applies to you, then you need to know this. And that's to be prepared to lose money at the beginning. Because the truth is, it's going to take some time and figuring out to get your message to match with your audience and get that to convert at the break-even point. So you need to find out how much money are you prepared to lose in order to figure this out. Now, when I say lose, I'm not saying you need to lose thousands upon thousands of dollars, because you could still test with a small amount, even amount such as $300, depending on how much your product or service costs. But you want to make sure it's enough money that if you lost it tomorrow, it wouldn't matter too much. But saying that, as a business owner or advertiser, this is what it's all about. There is always going to be a level of risk at some point. And as long as you calculate the risk to the best of your ability, the rewards can be huge. Because when you find the winning funnel, you can literally take your business and ads to the next level. But with all this said, a quick strategy that I recommend to start with is knowing what that number is for you and your business, whether it's $1,000 or $20,000, and then to use that in a way to find your winning funnel. So whatever that number is for you, this will be the starting point of your advertising spend, because then what you want to do is use a daily spend of breaking that money up so you don't zap it up too quickly. Now I have a more detailed video explaining why daily budget is better than lifetime budgets, where I'll link it below. But I always recommend to test with a daily spend. And a good starting point to test with is a daily spend of at least a minimum of $50 a day. But if it's less, don't worry about it, that's still fine. The main goal is just to spend enough so you don't zap it away and to help you find your proven funnel. Now, something to mention here is that if you do use a low budget, you need to expect slower results. So if you're using an overall budget of $1,000 with a daily ad spend of $10, it's going to naturally take far longer than if you had a $10,000 budget with an ad spend of $100 a day. So expect the results to be slower. And there's nothing wrong with the slower results. Just be patient, as the key is to find the winning Facebook funnel with the smallest budget possible so that you're ready to scale your campaigns to the next level. And here's the thing, to help you test your ads with the best possible chance of utilizing your budget, you can put your ads in front of the best audiences, where I'll show you the 5 algorithm exploits to put in your targeting. Check it out here and let me know if this video was useful by putting a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.